Such material was filed together with a motion to impound. A hearing that included the motion to impound was held on a Monday morning. I allowed the motion to impound during the hearing. The affidavits of the moving party and the attorneys were impounded. Following that morning hearing, I found that there was insufficient information to support a delay in the deposition of the non-party from going forward. However, I further found that given the claims made in the filings, I would delay making a final decision on the motion until later that day to give the non-party's counsel the opportunity to supplement the record before me. I scheduled the matter for further hearing that afternoon at 4:15 with the expectation that there would be additional filings. At 2:22 p.m. that day, the non-party's attorney emailed the clerk of this court and all counsel of record, excepting one, additional materials in support of the motion for a protective order. The filing included a motion to impound additional materials. Exactly 30 minutes after the email to counsel of record of the additional material, which included sensitive and private medical information, similar information to what was in the exhibits to the filing and marked provisionally impounded, was posted to an X account at 2:52 p.m. Upon learning this information, I ordered that the parties and counsel provide a certification to the court as to all facts known to them as to any dissemination to anyone other than parties and counsel in this matter of any of the contents of the material impounded on June 8, 2026, and I scheduled this appearance for today. I received certifications from all party and counsel, 32 of them in total. No one apparently has disseminated, nor are they aware of any facts regarding the dissemination of the contents of impounded material to any person or entity other than the parties and counsel in this matter. However, somehow, an ex-account holder, not part of this case, apparently received information that was at least provisionally impounded. Orders of the court have been violated either directly or at the very least in spirit. If these orders are to have any effect, all parties involved must operate with integrity. Rule 13C of the Uniform Rules of Impoundment Procedure imposes a duty on all persons to protect the confidentiality of impounded material. Additionally, Rule 3.6 of the Rules of Professional Conduct prohibits lawyers from making extrajudicial statements that they know or reasonably should know will be disseminated by means of public communication and will have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing an adjudicative proceeding. In cases like this, where all parties involved are aware of the public attention, I expect that everyone is taking every precaution to preserve confidential information, to follow the rules of the court, and to adhere to my orders. Because of the disclosure of sensitive private information, I temporarily stayed further discovery of the non-party. If necessary, I am fully prepared to make such order permanent as permitted by Rules 26 and 30. To any issue counsel may raise as to the management of discovery issues being within my discretion, I invite you to look at the following cases. In the 2003 case of Buster v. George W. Moore, Inc., 438 Mass. 635, the SJC stated at page 653, in general, discovery matters are committed to the sound discretion of the trial judge. In a 2002 appeals court case, Mattoon versus the City of Pittsfield, 56 Mass. App Court 124, the court stated at page 131, trial judges have broad discretion to make discovery and evidentiary rulings conducive to the conduct of a fair and orderly trial. In the 1987 case of Solomon A. versus B. Gruhl, 399 Mass. 790, the SJC stated at page 799, the conduct and scope of discovery is within the sound discretion of the judge. In Cronin versus Strayer, 392 Mass. 525, a 1984 case, the SJC stated at pages 535 to 536, we remind judges that the scope and timing of discovery is within their discretion, and the prevention of discovery abuse is sufficient justification for the authorization of protective orders. With this authority at hand, judges should not hesitate to exercise appropriate control over the discovery process. And finally, in the 1987 case of Campagna versus the Board of Directors of the Massachusetts Housing Finance Agency, 399 Mass. 492, the SJC stated at page 503 that Rule 37 affords a judge broad discretion to impose whatever sanctions are just in order to ensure that the discovery process operates efficiently. The malicious publication of private information concerns me. Whatever opinion that one may have of a non-party, even if warranted, such an opinion does not allow for the disparate treatment of such individual. All people deserve fair and equal treatment in our system of justice, regardless of any personal characteristic, as abhorrent as some of them may be. What I am looking for is for the parties is adequate assurances that their discovery served justice and not any desire to weaponize the rule for pettiness and profit. If the parties and lawyers would enter into an agreement to hold private, personal information in confidence, and if the terms were acceptable to me, I would consider entering it as an order of the court so that any violation would be grounds for a contempt finding and appropriate sanction, including dismissal or default. Such an order would need to be more than a stipulation that deposition testimony can only be used for the purposes of this case. I encourage the attorneys to confer and to seek to reach an agreement. In the absence of an agreement, I will consider whether to enter an order based on my plenary authority to control, manage, and oversee the conduct of discovery. While you are conferring and seeking to reach an agreement, I will again remind you, as I have quite often, that the discovery clock is ticking. My final request to counsel with an appearance in this matter is to familiarize yourself with Rule 3.6 of the Rules of Professional Conduct relative to publicity. The rule sets forth a basic general prohibition against a lawyer's making statements that the lawyer knows or should know will have a substantial likelihood to a fair trial for everyone necessarily entails some curtailment of information that may be disseminated prior to trial, especially where trial by jury is involved. If there were no such limits, the result would be the practical nullification of the protective effect of the rules of forensic decorum and the exclusionary rules of evidence. The rule takes into consideration that the public has a legitimate interest in the conduct of judicial proceedings, particularly in matters of general public concern. However, I'm not so sure that churning the waters to generate social media coverage necessarily can result in a legitimate interest in the conduct of judicial proceedings. Read the rule, especially if you have never done so, adhere to it, or be ready to face the consequences for failing to do so. I remind counsel of what one commentator called the quiet expectation of fairness that we have as citizens. Such expectation is based on the framework the founders of our country built 250 years ago and trusted future generations to maintain. Counsel, do your part to maintain the quiet expectation of fairness. Do not succumb to the attraction of seeking to influence this case through social media. Be what a trial lawyer should be, one that tries their case in the courtroom. And remember the provisions of General Laws, Chapter 221, Section 28, relative to the oath of office for an attorney in Massachusetts, which provides, in part, I solemnly swear that I will do no falsehood. I will delay no man for lucre or malice, but I will conduct myself in the office of an attorney within the courts according to the best of my knowledge and discretion, and with all good fidelity, as well to the courts as my clients. So help me God. I wish all of you a happy 4th of July on the anniversary of our America's 250-year-old democracy. May it continue to succeed with all of us working to maintain the rule of law. Thank you.
Court, all rise.
For the record, this matter is continued to July 10th, 2026 at 2 p.m. for hearing on motions to compel the criminal fourth session.
Court stands in recess.
There's no opportunity to be heard?
There obviously no opportunity to be heard.
I was unaware. I'm just covering for Clerk Donovan today.
Is there an opportunity before everybody departs to let the judge know that we would like to be heard?
I absolutely.
So yeah, wow. So did you notice it was Damon who first questioned whether they could be heard?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah,
No.
it was Damon's voice. If you go back and listen, it was Damon first.
Really?
Obviously, I think it was planned, and the person that was going to speak was Alan.
Yes.
But yeah, they were not happy that they did not get to grandstand in front of the media. So I want to put this one up real quick, this video. And so this, Carrie sent it to me. Carrie, was it Carrie or Jenny? I can't remember which one of you sent it to me. But it's Karen and her parents in court.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah, it was Carrie.
Am I echoing?
What's that?
Am I echoing?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
You've got to watch Karen's lips and read what she's saying. And this is before it begins, correct, Carrie?
Yeah, I think they were waiting, or I think he was talking actually, or something. But it was waiting. It was in the beginning.
Yeah. So this is our Karen. Did y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is bullshit.
Yep, she sure did.
Why is she mad? She got to see her bestie, right? He got to.
But why is she mad? Why is she mad anyway? Like, if you didn't do anything,
right?
Why would you be mad? And why would it? I mean, it's definitely not bullshit that somebody released someone's private information, right? I don't care who it is. Like, it doesn't matter. We know, how everyone feels about those texts and about Proctor, but it's private health information. Can't release that.
Yeah. And so what I really did appreciate, especially after listening to all these attorneys on YouTube and the way they were speaking about Proctor, and they were saying in this particular case, in this wrongful death case where he is a non-party, that he should have no objections, that nothing that he produces in discovery should be under protective order. It was very good to hear the judge say that everyone is entitled to fairness under the law. It really pains me to hear attorneys saying that some people should be treated differently. That is not the way we do things in America.
No, of course
not.
not.
The way we do it.
No, it's not anyone. No one. It's against the law. You can't.
Correct.
That those attorneys did that, and I mean, I was working today, obviously, so I saw a lot of it, but I saw most of it. I listened to it when I was driving home and whatever, but I kind of missed the end, and I just watched, heard it now. Sounds to me like he is going to do something if they don't come to an agreement, maybe like a gag
Yes.
or impoundment. Like, he's not done.
Well,
And I think it's amazing, right, that that's all. He was letting them know. And no, I don't want to hear your bullshit, Alan Jackson, or what are you going to say, that you didn't do it?
Well, so that video, when WBZ cut it off where they did, that is not
Yeah.
where the Zoom ended. So there was more at the end of the Zoom, and you could hear Alan and Damon's microphones, and he was saying something about, we need the opportunity to correct the record. So he was implying that Gildea had stated something that was not correct on the record. And so he's like he and Damon are going back and forth about this. And then when they come back and say no, and it gets cut off right in the middle of his sentence, but he says, well, we'll just use this in another, and then it cuts off. So I'm assuming they're going to like put it in a filing. Or
yeah.
something.
Are they going to try to have this judge recused too?
Probably.
Are we going to play that game? And so then the question I would have for Damon and for Alan is, how are you going to correct the record if you don't know what Twitter account posted what?
Mm-hmm. And why are you the only one of the 32 people who's certified that need to correct the record?
Correct.
That's a weird.
It's so
coincidence.
it's so obvious, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone else is just sitting there respectfully and quietly and just listen. I mean, the judge is talking, right? And said, this was like a fuck around and find out moment with him.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to hear
Yeah.
anything from anyone, and no one else says anything except who?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course them. And probably Karen, I mean, watching her in court, she was probably egging that on for her attorneys to say something. And of course, Alan's more than happy to be the carnival barker and to get up there and grandstand.
So did after, how where it just cut off, did the clerk go back and ask the judge?
He
Can they be
did.
heard?
He did. And then he came back and said, nope. He was like, no.
I love him.
I mean, what? Like, what are they thinking? Why are they like egging this guy like
But
this?
let's say Alan Jackson is innocent just for giggles. And let's say someone else out of the 32 people is responsible for leaking this private and sensitive information. Why would Alan Jackson be objecting and wanting to correct the record?
That's
Right. You think
it makes no
like,
sense.
I
It
have
makes
no
no
idea
sense.
what's going on. I love the way he put it in their hands. And he was
Yeah.
like, you
Yes.
come up with a plan. And then, and did you guys see that one account? There's no picture on it. The person claims to be an attorney, but they were like, oh, I put it in Claude, which is an AI
God.
thing. And a judge can't issue a ruling, and a judge can't. And there was no ruling that happened.
Right.
There was no investigation that we know of. The judge was notified that there was a tweet that had information in it, very strangely, that had been impounded. And I think, given what we saw in the criminal trial, and he doesn't live in a vacuum, I'm sure he knows, he's being very cautious about it. And I appreciate that for the O'Keeffes. They have a right to a fair trial.
Yeah.
Listen,
exactly.
listen.
Absolutely.
What I think that I texted you guys this. If Judge Canone had done this 3 years ago,
Yes.
Karen Reed would be in jail right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care what any of you free Karen Reed people say. If this circus did not take place, she would be in jail. And the O'Keeffes are now having to do this nonsense.
And it's like we said last week, when we watched Colin's testimony, if you didn't have the big fanfare and the hoopla and all this, conspiracy garbage in social media and in the public, when Colin testified, people would have been like, her story is just an excuse.
Yeah.
She's
This is
just trying to
absurd.
get out
This
of
is
it. Like, this is
absurd.
ridiculous.
Mhm.
And
It was interesting that he said churn the water too, right? Because
Yeah.
what does that do? It muddies it.
yes.
You know, it's not fairness. It's not equity. It's just muddy water.
Yes, exactly. And so there's a couple things that we want to show you guys. So this is Karen's team going into court. We have a video for this. We're going to play the video too. So that you see Karen, she's ahead, and then there's Alan Jackson, and this person that he has his arm around that has on the shorts and the dress shirt, that's Tom DeRozier. Do you guys want to tell our audience, if they don't know, who Tom DeRozier is?
Yeah, well, I think it's really important, right, to look at that picture. Okay, so this is Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's attorney, defense attorney in, you know, her 2 murder trials, and now for some reason her attorney in a civil trial, even though he's not a civil trial attorney. And that's Tom DeRozier, who I'm pretty sure most people know. He is a huge Free Karen reader, a huge turtle writer. But this man, I mean, he has done, I think everyone by now has probably seen the video of him literally threatening a witness's unborn child, talking about his fantasies for the child when the child's born. And Alan Jackson's seen all these. These were all over the internet. He also, I think, Julie, was it 2 years ago, went to John O'Keefe's grave on
Yes.
the anniversary of his death, which he had said that he was going to do. And it was a big, huge hoopla. And the family asked that no one, you know, go there and please respect them. He snuck in to John's grave in the middle of the night, right, Julie? Around 1 a.m, midnight?
Yep.
Under the cover of darkness with, you know, a headlamp on, and he live streamed and put things on his grave, and he's repulsive. He also, Kevin Linehan tells a story, and I don't want to tell the story because it's his story, but he's told it before, of Tom calling him when Kevin was back in the day, Free Karen Reed, and he was at the hospital where at the time Brian Higgins' girlfriend worked, and he wanted to talk to her. And he said to Kevin Linehan, I believe, I'm just gonna, you know, slit one of her tires, so she'll need some help with her tire. And Kevin Linehan was like, hang the phone up to whoever was with him in the car. That man is a lunatic. So this is who Alan Jackson is giving huggies to.
Yeah.
So if there's any question why this is a circus, right there.
Yeah. So we've got, before we show the video, we've got another thing that we want to show you guys as far as Tom's mindset. And this is who Alan Jackson has his arm around. And this is a message that Tom DeRozier sent. And I hope, Lydia, can you see that? You're our eyes.
Yeah.
Can you read it for us?
Yeah, you bet. So it says, do you have a second? This is Tom speaking.
And here's Aidan. Then that's Aidan. Sure, what's up?
Sure,
Aidan.
what's up? And he's so dramatic and weird in his text. So he says,
Go.
"Gulp. Here goes my idea around tainting, interfering with the jury selection. Field day. Jury selection day. We all go to a park near the courthouse and we have an old-fashioned field day. Kickball, baseball, softball, volleyball, etc. Get a DJ for the music. Bring the grills, hamburgers, hot dogs. Screw it. Bring out the classic cars. Bring out the blessing of the bikes. Like, bring all your Karen Reed gear, new, old. Bring your signs, all of them. We can spell things out with.
This is a murder trial, Tom.
This is a murder trial.
This is not how we behave. You know, I think this is my problem with all of this is that, and especially it's, you know, we're on a 250-year anniversary. We live in the greatest country in the world. We have the greatest justice system in the world. Granted, it does have problems. There is a sanctity to that. This is not how you treat our justice system. And as far as Aidan, you know, he thinks, you know, why should I go to prison? Why, you know, like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just said words. No, you attacked the sanctity of our justice system.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a penalty for that. We don't do this. We don't do vigilante mob justice. We have a courtroom and we have fairness, and we do things that way because we are Americans, and that is what it means to be an American. Yeah, I can't. So
I mean, read that. Look at that message. It's insane.
I knew about the nurse story and the slashing of tires for a long time, and it wasn't our story to tell. So
right.
You don't tell. I mean, there's stories that we know, you guys, we're not telling them.
Right. And Kevin, I remember when Kevin finally told it.
And then it was like, okay, now we can talk about it.
Yes.
That is a very deranged person.
Yes. It's deranged.
Their thought is, I'm going to trap this person.
Yes.
In order to make them talk to me. That is bizarre. That is stalkerish. That is someone who probably needs a bed at a mental hospital.
Yes. And the video, think about the video that he made for Caitlin Albert. I mean, it's like a scene out of a horror movie.
Yeah. And I don't know the actual story behind it, but my understanding is because Tom was running around and doing all this stuff, he may have lost his disability.
Yes.
So, he's showing up at the courthouse, he's running around. I don't know. You guys, these are rumors. This is just speculation. So take it for what it's worth. But for whatever reason, he thought that Brian Albert's daughter might be involved in the fact that he may have lost his disability. And so that's why he threatened her. That is bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre. So
I think that those people, right, they think that the witnesses and, their children, whatever, think about them as much as they think about them. Like,
correct. And they don't.
No, Caitlin Albert doesn't. She doesn't give you a thought of it.
She doesn't.
She doesn't. No.
So this is the video. You guys can watch them. This is from Tom's stream. Grant had one of the car, like when it pulled up, but he put his name across the whole thing. I'm not playing that, but this is Tom's stream. And so this is them showing up at the courthouse, and you can see the reception that this person who wanted to slash someone's tires, who wanted to create a carnival outside the courthouse. This is the reception he gets. Oh, is it going? Yeah. Oh, that's the picture. Sorry. Haha, just kidding. Here you go. Let me start over.
How do you like this cake? What about the call? I've not given any rides up Listen, good luck in there. But I'm up for it. You got a lot of people behind you. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you. Good luck. See you. Have a good day, guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting, specifically because Gilday said, you're out there doing this outreach in social media, right? And so last week, we showed the photos of other people on the team associating with some of the most terrible, free Karen Reed propagandists on Twitter and YouTube. And that's exactly what's happening. And it's happening feet from the judge, right in front of the courthouse.
Yeah. And as far as the offense that Karen and Alan Jackson are taking to this, this is what they did in the criminal case. We have documented it well. So I've got a couple things to go along with that. I'm going to play this video first. And I think it's the same kind of strategy that they might be trying to play for these civil cases. And Judge Gildea just put a big wrench in their plan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. But we need to continue to spread the word. Every single person in Norfolk County needs to know the truth about Karen Reed and John O'Keefe. We are trying to affect the jury pool. We are. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, he told you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. That is his point. So Aidan, when you talk about, and we're going to talk more about intent later, but when we talk about intent, in that video, he was in front of a event for Morrissey, and he's talking about the reason why he is there is to taint the jury pool. So, got your intent for you, buddy.
I don't know how he gets out of that clip.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100%. You literally said, I am here to impede, delay, obstruct a justice process. I am tainting a jury pool. So I don't know either. I mean, so I've got a couple other things to go with this. This one, I think you guys have seen before, but I think I think we cannot show it enough. And so this is Karen, and this is what she's saying to Aidan. This is September of 2023. And she says they have to look at what you've done to their reputations. And she's talking about the witnesses, and in capitalized letters, my jury pool. Chris's business is the next casualty, just a matter of time. This isn't about censoring. They're all shocked that the judge is denying all these harassment orders. So, I mean, that's exactly what y'all were trying to do. We've got more. More to go with this. So here's another text message, right? And here's one of these messages with the intermediary. And we're going to focus on Aidan's part, which is in the gray. And he's like, but yeah, thinking about what this could be. The story is catching on nationally now, and I'm going to be the face of it. With the protests and the turtle riders, they could sell this to HBO for $50 million. So again, when we're talking about intent, and you're saying these protests were to petition the government, they were absolutely not to petition the government. You were creating those protests. You were trying to taint the jury pool. You were 100% trying to obstruct the justice process. No doubt, absolutely no doubt. And so I've got one more of these, and this one is David Yannetti. And this is an attorney, and this is the attorney on the case asking Aidan Kearney, what is your sense regarding the protests? And we've shown you guys videos of those protests multiple times. The way they were attacking the witnesses. The attorneys were making extrajudicious statements, attacking the witnesses on the courthouse steps at their quote unquote protests. They were tainting the jury pool. They were trying to lure in the media. They were tainting social media. So they have a history of doing these things. So for Alan Jackson to take any offense to what Judge Gildea said, I think that's real bold, AJ, real bold.
It is. It's just, I can't believe he reacted the way he did in court today. He just told on himself. It was so strange, right?
And Yannetti went even farther than that. Remember, he didn't just ask about the postmortem of the so-called protest. He then sent instructions to Aidan before a protest that said, just here's an idea, like, let's make sure there's no violence at the rally or protest. I can't remember what exact word he used to describe it. And he's like, I know you know that, but I'm just being cautious. So he was also issuing instructions around these mobs of insane people through Aidan.
I think we have a text too, where I'm pretty sure it was Yannetti was alerting the group that Jen McCabe was going to be in court. Don't we have one of those?
So he was alerting there. Yes, we do.
Right.
It was about the federal grand jury.
Yes. Okay.
And so what happened? This is
alert the group text or something,
It was a group text with at least Karen and David, because remember, Aidan authenticated it for us and told us on Twitter who it was between.
Oh, yeah.
Posted it because I wasn't really sure. And then, of course, Aidan, because he can't keep his mouth shut, is like, oh, that's what this is. Ha, ha, ha. You don't even know what it is. And I'm like, well, thank you. I was wondering. So it was between at least Karen and David. It was some kind of group text they had. Karen took a screenshot of it, that it was actually Kevin Reddington was going to be at the federal courthouse.
Oh, okay.
And Karen
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, that means Jen is going in. That means she
Okay. And then alert the group text or text the group text.
And then Karen took that screenshot and sent it to Aidan Kearney.
Okay, to get everybody to be there,
Yeah.
to greet Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I mean, it's just wild when you think about this. I really appreciated everything that Judge Gildea said today. I think that if there was any hope for a fair trial, because I think we all worry about that for the O'Keefes, I think their best shot is with this judge. I do too. I mean, it just can't happen again, right? It can't. What happened for especially the second trial, right? The first trial was the only chance to get a guilty for her. And they almost did, right? They got 9. Yeah.
There was just no chance. I talk about this with a lot of people between the first trial, and they knew it, right? That was it between the first and the second. I mean, how many interviews did she do? The Super Bowl interview, the 25, Fox 25 interviews. Do you remember the standouts? The website every single weekend, every single town here, they were in every state doing standouts. Like, there was just no chance. And I think the tide has turned a lot. And I think with a judge like this, they have a chance.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I sure hope so, because it's depressing.
Yeah.
And you watch
it's sad. It's really sad.
And he gave them a chance today, I think, when he was saying you can come to an agreement between yourselves on what should happen. That was a very generous offer, because after he said that, he said, I'm giving you a chance to govern yourselves here. But after he said that, he said, and if you don't, I will,
Right. Which I assume would be a gag, right? I mean,
he wants to set up what the consequences are going to be. So he said, I want you to come to an agreement, and it outlines what kind of sanctions there are going to be. Everybody's going to agree on it. And then if it doesn't happen, there is going to be some kind of sanctions or remedy. And I think what he was saying is, probably if I do it, it's going to be probably more severe than if you come to an agreement amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think Alan Jackson wanted to say today?
Well, I think they're really,
what was he going to say?
Yeah, they're really concerned about being cut off from Proctor, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And right now they are. So I think he was probably going to, stamp his feet and say,
I think obviously it was mostly for public, right? Because what are you going to say? Like, no one else is denying it. You would look like an absolute idiot if you start denying
what record is he correcting?
Yeah. So I think I think he just was like, I came here all the way from California. I'm going to smear. So let me say something.
Yeah. I'm from Beverly Hills. You have to let me speak.
Because I almost wanted to hear what he had to say. Because I just can't even imagine what do you want to say?
Well, I mean,
he characterized a few things that you could imagine Jackson wanting to respond to, right? So he said malicious dissemination.
Yes.
Right. So the judge is acknowledging that this was done deliberately and with the malicious intent, which if you're an attorney who's done that, you're in big trouble. And I'm sure that if you were an attorney that hadn't done it, that would be objectionable. And then the social media thing, that gets under their skin every time this judge says it. Right.
Yeah. I mean, and we see it, right? People they're hanging Proctor, but he still deserves to be treated fairly in a court of law as a non-party witness. He deserves it. That's what Americans represent. That's what we do. It's just like, when you bring the child murderer into court, we don't stone him to death.
Right.
Her to death in the middle, in front of everyone.
Yeah, they get a trial. They get their due process. Right.
So regardless of what you think about his text, he still deserves that from the court.
Right.
And that's what the judge said, right? Which was, no matter what you think, and he looked right at them when he said it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did.
But how do you object? I mean, still though, you do have to wonder, what was he going to say? I'm really mad that you said this was malicious, but I didn't do it.
I know. That's why I want to know.
It's
I don't know.
I think his mouth got ahead of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's no way to correct the record unless something the judge said was wrong. So what are you going to say?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Because if you
Right.
have no knowledge of it, then you wouldn't be able to correct it. You know what I
I
mean?
think he just wanted to say something. You know him. He probably had thought of something he's a smooth criminal, right? So he had something in his head that he was going to say that was probably going to shift the blame or
Yeah.
smear
Well-
Proctor or smear somebody. So he had a plan. He knew what he wanted to do, and he cannot believe he came all the way here and didn't get to say it.
Did not get to do it. How dare they? But I
Yes.
mean, you know what's been happening on Twitter, and you have Karen supporters that are actually saying that Michael Proctor leaked it himself.
I can't. I'm not even.
What
I can't.
end, folks?
I can't.
To what end? Because if
I
you're going to
can't.
say that, then now you're saying that Judge Gilday is also involved, because then it was predictable for Michael Proctor that this would be the response. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's
you guys are
absurd.
ridiculous.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
But what was
Stop.
really interesting is that while we were all trying to figure out what it was that had leaked, Aidan came right out on his show and said, "Oh, was I the first person to release the private, sensitive medical information about Michael Proctor?" He said that on his live. He was like, "Was I the first one to say that?"
Well, not only that, like Julie just said, the Free Karen Reed people are saying that it was Proctor that released it. Guys, we saw the accounts that posted it. It's not up for debate. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
But how did Aidan know what Judge Gilday was going to say today? How did he know what the subject of the leak was? Why was he asking that question?
I don't know. This
We're
morning,
thinking
him
about-
lying about the subpoena just sent me. It just freaking sent me.
I know.
Like, dude, like how, like, this is what I don't understand. You use the internet as a diary.
Yep.
It is very easy to refute the things you say. So the only thing that I can think of at this point is it's mental illness, because you'd have to be mentally ill to believe that you can somehow talk your way out of what you said 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, and people are going to believe you. And
But they do
unfortunately,
believe
he
him.
does have delusional fans, but
Yes.
I think that base is getting smaller and smaller every day. I think, and I've not been following it. I don't know if you guys have followed it, but it seems like a couple people that used to be in his orbit, women in the content creator world, have made some statements this week. And again, I don't want to be involved in that. I really don't care about it, but I think the shine is off of Aidan, and I don't think he is going to have the same effect that he used to. And he's very angry that they aren't doing free research for him. He's so mad about that. He's so mad.
I think so too. I agree. I mean, I don't know how anyone, I've said this a million times, I don't know how anyone finds him appealing, or he's a miserable. I mean, think about Yuri this week, what he did with Yuri. Like, how do you watch that and like get excited and be like, oh, this is so fun, we're making fun of someone who's on a cruise? Like, what?
I mean, the guy's on vacation.
What are you doing?
You're a loser sitting in your basement.
Yeah,
What are you talking
like
about?
all the people watching him and all the people then sending him pictures. Like, if you're on a cruise and you're concerned and taking pictures of someone to send to Turtle Boy, like, you need mental health help. Like, that's just, it's so abnormal.
Yeah, I mean, spending your own vacation looking at, taking pictures of and
Of
sending
someone
them
else having a good time.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And then they were complaining, the person that was doing it was complaining that the ship Wi-Fi was too slow and that they had more to send. But
Dude, it's so fucked up.
Can
Like,
you
that's
imagine,
just,
like,
no.
married to that person? I have to say, in all vacations that we've ever taken, I took a video of one person once never sent it anywhere other than our family group chat, and we were all there. But it was a guy from like Europe. We were at like an all-inclusive resort, and this guy was there, and he was just so happy, and he had on a Speedo, and he was dancing. And I mean, I would never post that to social media but it was a fun video for us because it was really nice to see somebody just enjoying themselves like that with absolutely no concern. I mean, that guy had no concern. He was having a great time. But
like Yuri had no concern either.
Yeah.
I know, that was great.
Yeah. I know it is, and that's the funny thing. So fun. And can't these people see that? Like, do you think this man is worried about anything? Do you think he framed someone and he's concerned that the feds are coming? Like, just stop it. Stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole thing is flipping crazy. And so we've got some court documents that we're going to talk about. So we've got a few things that we're going to talk about. I wanted to start with, this is from another hearing. And so we're going to put this up and start with
case.
You guys, I am so sorry.
Attorney Rosenberg, and I guess to all the attorneys in this case, non-parties that are involved in the case, the pleadings I'm getting in this case, and I'm sure that I will get in the McCabe case, are replete with arguments presented as facts, which isn't really helpful to me. And there's a lot more background in these submissions than I really need to decide the issues. So I'm going to ask all of you in the pleadings that you file, at least with me, just write what I need to know in order to decide the issue, and stop pandering to social media. All right? So now let's get on to your motion.
So do you guys see this theme here? You know, what was it? How many days ago was that? 13 days ago, 14 days ago, we had the judge telling them, hey, stop it with the social media stuff. And then we saw it in, so we've got Collins' order, right? You guys remember the arguments for that? And again, if you go through this with everyone on Twitter, they keep saying like the witnesses don't want to produce anything, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. Like they have all these arguments and they're trying to make it like the witnesses do not want to sit for depositions. They don't want to give over any information. Karen is issuing these ridiculous broad discovery requests from these witnesses. And so basically this order, was this last Friday, you guys, that this came out?
I think it was last
week.
It
was last week.
Yeah, I really can't see it on there.
It's June 26th. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically what it said is whatever the attorney for Colin had argued, that is the discovery they're getting. And they're not pulling him back from basic training right now.
It's actually a little bit less than what Maddie offered, because Maddie offered keywords in addition to this very limited time period and subject matter. And that's got to sting a little bit that, you know, it was what Maddie said. Karen Reed doesn't know how to take yes for answer.
Well, I mean, he did say that. That was a great thing that he said. And then we had this one. This one is probably, I'm going to frame it. And so even after the judge told them, hey, stop pandering to social media, Karen's team, and this was Waters. So if you guys remember, Waters was the one who was on the Today Show with Karen. And Waters is the one who said that John had, quote unquote, troubled relationships with people in the house. And so Waters is the one that wrote this motion. And the motion was about Tully, right? And so he throws the witnesses under the bus in his motion. And he also aims his arrow right at the judge. And he's like, you're being unfair.
Mhm.
So then the judge called them on it and was like, you need to explain this. And then do you guys remember what they did? Their response?
That was, yes, that
So
was
their
amazing.
response, I think, was, wow, not the greatest response in the world. Very
Well,
ill-advised.
they just took it as another opportunity to smear the witnesses, which
Yeah.
I'm quite certain the judge is really sick of that.
Yeah. And I really think bolding and underlining the words apparently not going to go over well. And
No.
then I can't read that at all. Lydia, can you read the what they added to it, the apparently? And I can't see the second one, but I was like, wow, you really don't get what he was trying to say, do you?
Yeah, it says, apparently bolded and underlined, buoyed by the treatment that other subpoenaed witnesses are getting by resisting their deposition, subpoenaed witness Brian Tully now seeks to stand in the same line by filing a motion seeking to quash his deposition. And then in parentheses, emphasis added. And then rather, it appears, bolded and underlined, that Tully simply watched the manner in which other subpoenaed parties have been handled in this case, emphasis added.
Yeah. I mean, this was a really bad idea.
Yeah, it was.
And
in a long line of bad ideas.
I mean, so he tells you not to pander to social media. So then you tell the judge, oh, you must have missed that word where we were just suggesting that you were doing these things. Like, way to make that argument for them. And so the second part of this response was even worse. I was like,
well, let me read that last sentence real quick. These two arguments refer to the fact that multiple third parties Reed has subpoenaed have either ignored such subpoenas with a random, oh, that's a footnote. I thought that was an apostrophe. And therefore the court's commands or sought to evade.
I mean, which is crazy because that's not what happened. And the judge has the motions for the witnesses. And so we know what happened with the witnesses. You know, they unilaterally scheduled those depositions without consulting.
Right.
And then the witnesses gave them a bunch of dates. If you look at the dates each witness gave them, they were a bunch of dates. And then they came back and they're like, well, that's not our strategy. We have to have these like, like that's not the way it works, Karen. Like, so
witnesses have families, they have children, they're not on Karen Reed's time. They're non-parties in this. It's the O'Keefe family versus Karen Reed.
Right.
And you know, the issue with this is Nicole and Brian are brother-in-law and sister-in-law, respectively, to Jen and Matt. So if they have a family event, they're all going to be at the same event. Why is this a weird thing for you guys? But in this motion, it was specifically about Tully. And instead of giving the judge your argument about Tully, you're like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to swerve this way and I'm going to talk about these people.
Can't you just see the judge's face when he turned the page to this and saw all of their names?
He asked them not to do it. Like, please do not do that.
Yeah. It's these people have some gall.
And then the last one that we have as far as the court docs, and I know we've got to get back to
I know
some of this stuff because I know we keep promising you guys, but this is the Proctor order. And I think this was before today's hearing. Lydia, if you want to read it, I can't even.
Sure.
I'm like.
Order relative to order of impoundment endorsement on paper number 112. I've been advised of information that allows for a reasonable inference of a violation of an order of impoundment issued by me. It is hereby ordered that 1, each plaintiff and defendant and each counsel with a notice of appearance in this matter as of June 8th, 2026, shall file with the clerk on or before 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 30th, 2026, a certification under the pains and penalties of perjury as to all facts known to them, as to any dissemination to anyone other than parties and counsel in this matter of any of the contents of the material impounded by order issued on June 8th, 2026, order of impoundment. An in-person hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, July 1st, 2026 at 3 p.m. All counsel with the notice of appearance shall attend. All further attempts to take discovery from the party whose information was the subject of the order of impoundment is precluded pending further orders of the court.
Yeah, and I think that's what their big problem was, that Proctor is off limits now.
And he's still off limits, right? Like they can't do anything with him, right? Until they figure this out.
And he said that he may make it permanent.
Yeah. And I think it was by the grace of God that Judge Gildea said, "You are not going to speak, EJ." Because I think he would have just, no matter what he said.
I do too. He
would have just made it worse. Like that was a bad idea. I mean, it was just like Rosenberg, remember that hearing where he was like, I have to correct the record.
Yes.
And he made it he looked incredibly foolish.
Yeah, he did.
And so we talked about the court stuff. I want to get into, we have been talking about this amongst ourselves, the way social media, Karen's fan club, let's call them that, Karen's cult, Karen's fan club, and the content creators are trying to once again wrap the witnesses around Proctor, right? We've gone over this a million times. There was no relationship between Michael Proctor and the witnesses. But now that we have all these horrible text messages, we are once again going through this where they are trying to make the witnesses responsible for those text messages.
And I think this was her plan, right? I've said this to you guys before.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I don't think there's any doubt in Karen Reed or her attorneys' minds that the witnesses will not be thrown out of this case. Like, it's unprecedented. This has never happened before. You can't sue witnesses in your case for testifying against you. You just can't. And if you read the motion, it's preposterous.
Yeah.
Free Karen Reed can scream all they want and say that it's not going to, and she has every right to sue them. She doesn't. They testified in her case. That's the extent. But she only did this so every single time a motion comes out or every single time something's released, it says Michael Proctor, Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, Matt McCabe, Nicole Albert. That's the only reason she did it, because it lumps them with the bad guys, right? The police. It's the only reason she did it.
And that's a tactic that both she and Aidan use, is that grouping of people, now that Aidan's mad at Meredith is grouped in with all of us, and it's just a tactic and a technique that works with people who don't have a lot of discernment about where the truth is coming from.
Right. And the witnesses have not, if you want to sue the police or whatever, the way you think Michael Proctor talked about you, the way you think they, like, whatever, adding the civilians, it's insane. And we know why it was done. We know why.
Yeah.
And like Julie said, these texts now, even with us, right? We'll post things, and underneath our posts.
Oh, I get it all the time.
We're like racist lovers and whatever. And like, what are you talking about? Like, what?
Yeah. There's someone on Twitter that likes to take quotes out of the tweets and attribute them to me instead of Proctor. Like
the text messages, right?
That is not the way it works. Accountability is the person who said it is responsible for it.
Yeah, we don't know Michael Proctor.
I've never met him.
I've never met him. And I think his texts are abhorrent, and I think they're disgusting.
But I think
said that. We don't know him, guys. So
no,
we don't know.
One of the things to point out as well, and it's probably going to be really unpopular right now, as bad as the texts are, and they're bad and they're vile and they're terrible, we don't have any proof that they affected any part of his job yet, right? I'm not saying we're not going to do that. I'm just saying at this point, but we once again have this situation, and it's being drummed up by attorneys, where we need to, we need this guy's head on a platter, and you don't even have any evidence yet, right? So, we just had Aidan Kearney last week. saying how funny and that Sean Good's texts were actually dark humor. So
Yeah, he was like, I like some of
Let me
these.
tell
Everybody needs
you,
to wait a
yeah,
second.
you free Karen Read people, and you probably know this, and especially all you turtle writers, in another life, in another world, Aidan Kearney would be best friends with Michael Proctor and Sean Good.
Sure.
And if you do not, if you can't even admit that, then you are, I mean, these are his people. These are his people. We saw him last night. He thought these texts were hilarious.
Aidan Kearney had a Twitter account called Ghetto Mellow, where he impersonated what he thought would be a stereotypical Black person. And he would tweet at his own attorney and call him the N-word with an A.
Over and over.
And someone said to me today, well, Michael Proctor was a police officer and Aidan Kearney is a satirist. I'm sorry. Racism is racism. I really don't care what your job is. And it goes back to my other point. Until you know that it actually affected what that person was doing, then it's just racism and it's wrong. It's wrong whether it's Aidan Kearney and it's wrong if it's Michael Proctor, right? You can't say that because Aidan Kearney is sitting on YouTube and Proctor is over here that there's something different about what they're saying. I don't understand your guys' argument with that.
It's crazy.
You've lost me. You've completely lost me. Like, so it's okay. So then you're saying it's okay here, but it's not okay there. That's what I take it as.
And I take an issue with satirist too, to be honest. I mean, Mark Twain did some satire. Aidan Kearney is no Mark Twain. So.
I think that's a great point, Lydia. But I've got 3 videos for this. All of these videos are attorneys on YouTube. One of them is Aidan Kearney's own attorney. And you'll notice in all of these videos, what they are trying to do is link these witnesses to those texts. So here goes the first one. Listen really closely to this one because it comes in at the end.
Or that there's, if he's talking so freely,
I don't know why
you have to think who else in his life is aware of his biases and prejudices, and you'd have to think it's a lot more. That there's, if he's talking so freely and so calmly and so regularly with these people, is he the kind of guy who just turns it on and off when he goes home? Who knows? Did witnesses in these cases, were they aware of his behavior?
Yeah, did you guys hear that? Were the witnesses aware of his behavior?
Yeah, and
wow, Mark, wow.
Like I almost fell over when I heard that. So he's basically, what he's trying to say, without saying it, obviously we all know, was Jen McCabe aware?
Yeah.
Michael, like what? She didn't know him. She did not know him.
Again, I would like to, as Judge Gildea said today, remind all these people, you can laugh at me all you want, Aidan. Rule 3.6 is there for a reason. And so now you have Aidan's lawyer.
Yes.
And these are actual victims in a criminal case. And he is trying to drag them into this. That's not okay.
Well, Gildea is the judge in the defamation case, right?
Correct. And Betterow is his attorney, one of his attorneys there too. So, yeah, I don't think this stuff is going to fly.
No, I don't think it's going to either.
Unfortunately for Aidan, I think what is irritating Aidan is there's enough of us now that, you know, he tries to say that the people that are clipping these things are just unhinged people that hate them. No, we're actually repulsed. We're repulsed because you're literally pissing on the justice system, and we're repulsed by that.
You're making a
mockery. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your actions and the fact that you have no respect for your rights as an American and your freedoms, and you have no respect for our justice system. So I don't care about you. So this is another one. This is This is Melanie Little, and this one is just outrageous.
Canton Police Department.
I don't know why.
Wow, it just occurred to me. Karen's attorneys now have Proctor's total phone extraction because they had to ask for special permission to use portions of it in the complaint that they filed against the MSP and against the Canton Police Department. So if there are any messages in Proctor's total phone extraction, including not just text messages, but Snapchat, WhatsApp, emails, voice memos with Colin Albert, they've already got them. Same goes for Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, they've already got them. They're just not allowed to publicize them yet.
I mean, we can laugh at that, but there are actually people that believe that.
No, I know, it's insane.
What you just said, and it's
she is fucking insane. Pardon my language. Like, so, but I have to say something really quickly about Melanie Little because I did not know. I was sent what was it called? She was actress or something.
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about? So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was sent, I can't remember, Jenny sent it to me and I can't remember what it is right now, like a IMBD or something. It's down now. She took it down. I think Jen Altman might have posted something from it. I think that might have been where Jenny got it from. But so I didn't know she was I didn't know that she was an actress or tried to be an actress, whatever. So
sense though, right?
It just all makes sense to me now.
Yeah.
Like her show, she's acting.
Yep.
I didn't know that, and I was like, holy shit. This is all an act.
She is saying things that affect people's day-to-day lives. And so in between this, I mean, she is one that will, act like and minimize the harassment that these people have been through.
Yes.
So you just sent this, Carrie. This is a message that Jen received. And so I can't read it. Do you want to read it, Lydia? But to the point, you've got people like Melanie Little, you've got people like Mark Betterow, you've got these attorneys, you've got people that people respect saying things. And what happens in response is these witnesses are getting harassment in person. They're getting harassment online. They're getting harassment at their homes. Like it's outrageous.
Yeah, and what I found interesting about this, so this one, the one that I'm going to read is dated June 17th. But what I thought was interesting is she unsent a message to Jen on July 24th, 2024.
2 years ago. So let me interrupt for 1 second because these messages like this that she gets, these are constant. And when I see them, these people are so unhinged. They constantly message, like just like this woman, like they'll message like a year and then 6 months later. And like, what is missing in your life?
Yeah.
That you are doing this, Tracy McDonald Clifford. Like what is missing in your life? And so when was that? June 17th?
It was June 17th at
I'm going to try,
12:36
while you're reading that, I just want to I always love to see what was going on that day. Because it's usually like either Karen Reed or Aidan Kearney had a bad day when Jen gets a message like this.
So it was the Colin. It was the Colin hearing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It was. I just looked. Yeah.
Yeah. So she, on her lunch break, decides to send a person.
Oh my
she's
God,
never
Lydia,
met.
it was on her lunch break.
It
It's
was.
12:36.
She was over at the Mart of Wall taking her lunch break. And she says the walls are closing in, and the fact that your sister is begging for money shows the guilt. I don't even know what that means. Colin is definitely going to spill the beans. Your daughter, according to your dad, has done. Your daughter, according to your dad, has done.
Jen's dad's like 90 years old. Like this is so just disgusting. Like what are you doing?
Has done a stint or two in the psych ward, but you're just a regular psycho soccer mom, clown face, laughing emoji. But so she's like, I'm talking to your 90-year-old dad about your daughter.
Yes, sure. Mm-hmm.
And your sister is begging for money. What is going on with this woman?
I don't know.
Right. But I mean, she's falling in line with everything that Karen wanted, right? So she did all that stuff with Colin. She made it very, very dramatic. We had those hearings, and this is what her fan base.
And this is a big part of their lawsuit, right? Like
Yeah.
what
Yes.
this, like, it's not just it's not just those two people, you guys. Like, look what this is. They're all spawned off from them, and they love this. I mean, look at Alan Jackson's hugging Tom CPU today. That is not normal. We just told you what this man has done.
And
Like
Chris
that-
Maddie has seen this before and talked about it in a courtroom before about how these crazy people are deputized to do these terrible things. And somebody just posted this in our chat. And I just want to ask everyone on the panel, have you ever sent a message to Karen Reed's cousin or to her dog walker, which we know she hates dogs, or to Nathan Reed, or to any of these people?
No, her parents, her,
would
not even her, not even her.
No,
I would think that would be unacceptable
and kind of creepy
and very strange.
Well, again, I go back to the fact that we're Americans, and even when like we were waiting for trial every day when I would go to work, I would drive by the jail where the defendant was housed. And I have to say, and it really surprised me, there were days where I was like, I just want to burn that jail to the ground. And I was surprised because I don't have any kind of violent tendencies. But I still was waiting for the trial because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
You respect the justice system. You look for your justice in court. You don't do these things. I don't know how to like shake Aidan Kearney and explain to him what he did and how wrong it is and why there has to be punishment for what he did. Because without our justice system, we have nothing. This country is nothing. I don't know how to explain that in any other terms. There has to be a punishment for what you did.
And they present themselves as the proponents of everything good that America stands for, right? The First Amendment, protesting the Vietnam War. Like they have these grandiose, fantasies that they're the ones protecting people's freedom. And it's quite the opposite. And it should scare a lot of people.
It's like Julie said earlier, they have just made such a mockery out of this. Long story short, but I recently I was watching a YouTube video and for some reason it like led into the Casey Anthony trial. You know how it does that? Like it just keeps playing and it kind of leads in. And I think the mom was testifying and you know how I am, I got completely like, oh my God, I haven't seen that trial obviously in 14 years, however long ago it was. So of course I got obsessed and I started watching it again. And I'm watching it and I'm watching Jose Baez, who, remember recently Aidan Kearney said he was hoping he would get Jose as his attorney. So I'm watching him and it's so interesting to me now to watch defense attorneys in other trials because it just is the stark difference between what those two idiots did in this case and what a real like Jose Baez, I forgot how amazing he was in that case. Like obviously that's the reason he was like respectful to the court, respectful to the judge, respectful to everyone.
Yep.
And they had tense moments, right? Him and the other prosecutor, they had some tense moments. I forgot about those. It's really interesting if no one has ever watched that case. They had a lot of tense moments. They also had a guy from the gallery, which I forgot about this, who was giving the finger to someone. And the judge caught it on camera, brought the guy up, put him right in front of everybody. They had a picture of him giving the prosecutor the finger from behind the thing. I had forgotten all these things, but it's a great trial to watch for trial watchers. But my point was, I don't even think a lot of people know who haven't watched trials before that their behavior was so abnormal.
Yes.
It was so abnormal. Even the way they talked to the judge, the way they talked to everyone, the way they acted, the way they looked, it is not courtroom decorum. Like, and it just really hit me when I was watching that because he's a big time attorney too, right? He could go in and act like an asshole, just like those two. It was a real eye opener to me. I was like, those two are such jackasses for what they did.
And I got dragged for saying that exact thing about Baez because Baez is Shanna Gardner's attorney, and that's a trial that I'm following.
Oh,
and that's
he is?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta watch that then.
So, and that's what I said. I said he was smart. He won playing by the rules, right?
He sure did.
He didn't lie, cheat, and steal
No.
like Jackson and Yannetti did.
No. He was
And
so good. He was
he
so
just
good.
used his brain.
Yeah.
And he is a smart man.
He's
And-
very charismatic too. Like they all say Alan Jackson is like, I do not even know what they're talking about
No,
when they say that.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea.
even when you think the defendant is guilty, there's a certain respect that you have for a defense
Right.
attorney that comes in and does his or her job well.
Yeah.
My problem with this team has always been that they took it outside the courtroom. And that's not what we do in this country.
Yes.
We do not do that. We don't do it.
They don't even like think about that. They don't even do like defense attorneys don't even do that in cases with like children, with like Casey Anthony. They don't take it outside where you can kind of understand too, right? Like, where something's really emotional and whatever. Like, you've never seen this before.
No, I mean, even somebody mentioned OJ Simpson, and he had, that juggernaut defense team. They did not take it outside the courtroom. What they did was they played on the social injustices and that whole thing that was going on. But again, it's inside a courtroom, right? Yeah. It's inside a courtroom. That's the way our system works. This was something very, very different and very, very wrong. And you have to think about, you have to extrapolate, right? And so if this works and Karen gets off and there's no consequences, then whoever has the biggest, piggy bank can commit any crime and create all of this social media, whatever it is. And there are more than enough. I mean, we saw it in this case, right? As soon as these content creators and these people on social media see that there's some kind of crowd, they run to it like fireflies to a light, and they will get in on it. And they have no scruples. They do not care. They are not journalists. These are not journalists. These are not people with ethics. They're going to say or do whatever gets them an audience. And it's very scary. I mean, it could destroy our entire justice system if this becomes the norm.
Well, they were already doing it today, right? I saw a few posts from the content creators that, Judge Gildea calling this hearing, it was a big, waste of time. And why would he do this? Like, imagine if they all knew that the prosecutor leaked this, how every, their shows would be all about this. Oh my God, can you imagine? And it would be the biggest thing in the world. And I mean, these people just fall in line. They just fall in line.
100%. So we've got one more video that I want to show you guys. This is two attorneys and Aidan, and then we're going to move on to Truth's comment about the U.S. attorney. We're going to move on to Rachael Rollins, but this is Aidan with two attorneys. Linda is his attorney in a Jersey case, which I'm not really clear as to whether that case has ended. But he makes some insinuations here, again, trying to connect the witnesses to Proctor's texts.
That are relevant, or these are just the ones that were put into the lawsuit? Because, I don't know how the Massachusetts State Police, I mean, they're being pretty quiet on all this, obviously, as well they should be. But at some point, they got to come out into, they can't remain vampires.
Yeah, I would assume that they led with their top. If they have worse ones than those and they're not putting them out there, that's pretty crazy. But I think a point that some have made, which is a very good question, is what's on Brian Higgins' phone? What's on Brian Albert's phone? Like, what were they destroying before Brian Higgins called his best friend, his BFF, Matt Kelch, and, asked him, hey, how do I extract messages from my phone? Oh, you want them all? Nope. Just these ones, nothing else. I don't want any other messages coming, because God knows what kind of messages he was sending to his friends about Karen Reed, about whatever, they're all pigs. These guys are.
And again, I would remind these two attorneys of Rule 3.6. They know this is going to be disseminated. They know it's going to affect the public opinion, at least in their audience, the people that follow them. of these witnesses. That's, it's concerning. It's concerning that all of these attorneys are so willing to basically shit on the justice system. And that's what it is. It wasn't a great way to say it, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Why are they always also pretending that the feds didn't get all their phone and their information? And it's like astounding to me that no lawyer who's talking to him was like, hey, didn't the feds get all their stuff? Like it's so bizarro.
Yeah, it's such a convenient omission, and it's made all the time.
They know what's on their phones, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's on your phone? we all know that.
So one of the things I'm going to say, sorry, I took that one off. Somebody had another one on. I don't look at anything that's personal on Aidan's extraction. I want nothing, absolutely nothing.
I don't think anyone does.
So for Aidan saying like, there's nothing on my phones, like, but it's not our purpose. Like that's not our goal. So don't look at it like you don't have things, Aidan, because that's not exactly true.
Everybody has things on their cell phone that they want the greater public to see, right? That is Alan Jackson's exploit. He knows that that's the case in every case that he works, and he does his damnedest to use that as a weapon.
Yep. Yeah. That's his specialty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know why? Because he's probably got some really shady shit on his phone.
What did David Yannetti say? Guilty people always accuse you of doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So Christine just asked one of the comments that went by, why didn't the feds get Karen Reed's phone? And the answer to that is they were only given, the defense was the only one that gave the feds any information. So they didn't get any information from the Commonwealth or any evidence or any, from her against her, so to speak. They were only given what the defense wanted to share with them.
Yeah, it was curated.
Because Proctor saw that text that they like to say didn't exist. David Yannetti likes to say it didn't exist because it wasn't to him. Well, we have the exhibits. We know it wasn't to you, David. It was to Jack Diamond.
Right.
But they were giving over what was in discovery, and what was in discovery had been filtered. So do you remember when Hank filed that motion to get more information from Karen's phone?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The Attorney General, right? So it was very limited what they got from Karen's phone. So
right. And remember, the Commonwealth kept sending letters, do you need anything from us? Can we give you some evidence? And they were like, no, thank you. We do not need anything from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so hard when I was watching the first trial, before we had all this information. If you go back and watch now what Lally said about the information that the feds had during the time, Lally apprehended exactly what was happening, right? It was hard for us to understand because the rules meant that they couldn't talk about a lot of it in court. But when you watch it in hindsight, listen to what Lally said in those hearings about the feds, and you'll see that he knew exactly what was going on and how the information was flowing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gone back, and when I listened to Lally's lines of questioning, I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I understand it. It was so much back then. But
he was just at like a more disadvantage too, right? Because he didn't really, someone like Brennan, who has dealt with the federal government a lot and in a really, really big case, knows like, I can ask for this, and I can, send this and send that. And, it was really hard, I'm sure, for Lally and in the first trial to be so, not being able to get all that. So I can't imagine how frustrating it was.
So, Earl is asking what text did Proctor see? So it was a text. The contents of the text are We don't know for sure, but it was a text that was not good for Karen, and it was to a DUI attorney named Jack Diamond, and the defense did claim it as privilege. So maybe we'll get to know what that text actually said in the civil case. I don't know, but the way they covered it up for the public after that was David Yannetti tried to say, well, there was no text to me and Proctor was lying on the stand because I didn't even have contact with Karen until whatever. But then when you go back through the exhibits, it's very clear who the text was to. So why, and Michael Proctor on the stand did not say, he just said it was an attorney. It was to an attorney. He didn't say
he never said it was Yannetti.
An attorney. But they tried to play on that and make the public believe that Proctor lied on the stand.
Right.
And that's just simply not true. So I think this is a good segue into our next subject, which is the insane Rachael Rollins interview that we had over the weekend.
So Julie, before you play those interviews, can I give a little backstory on her? Because I feel like hearing a little bit of her backstory for those who aren't from here or haven't like looked into her, I feel like it would be good to hear her backstory before they see how crazy, like these insane interviews.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much a lot of y'all know about Rachael Rollins, but Turtle Boy actually originally went after Rachael Rollins.
Yep.
And that is kind of how her downfall started, right? Because believe it or not, even though she's running for Suffolk County DA right now, she did have a big kind of downfall. So he went after her for this road rage incident in 2021. And she was Suffolk County District Attorney at that time. And he published one of his blogs on it. And it was a story that a Dorchester resident had filed a complaint against her. And it was a road rage incident where she was flashing emergency lights and she blocked vehicles and she threatened the driver and, you know, was yelling at him, today's not the day. And, you know, she went bananas. And he did a really good, I went back and I looked into it and he did a really, you know, a good story on it, which everyone took note of it, right? Like the media around here, because it was Rachael Rollins, all took note. And that forced the Massachusetts Attorney General's office. They opened an official review and did an investigation into the matter. Then what happened after, which was the bigger story, is Fox 25 News, one of the producers went to her house to ask her about it, you know, just to say, you know, what went on. And she lost her mind on camera. If you go and find, I was trying to find it earlier so Julie could play it and I could not find it. But she was berating them, screaming at the reporters. You know what I'll do? I'll call the police on you. I'll find your name. I'll have you arrested. And this is all on camera. So that all ends. It gets, whatever happens, it gets swept under the rug. It was a big story at the time. Fast forward 6 months. And believe it or not, President Biden nominates Rachael Rollins to be the federal prosecutor, U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but she had made national headlines for having this absurd policies where she declined to prosecute like nonviolent 15 low-level offenses, right? So like if someone stole my bike, it would be okay. They wouldn't be prosecuted. If someone broke into Lydia's house, but they didn't, you know, like hurt her, they just stole her TV, they wouldn't be prosecuted. So it was very, you know, she was very controversial. So those caused major roadblocks with her nomination. And usually I was reading all about it, and U.S. attorney nominees are traditionally like it goes really quick and no one like fights it or whatever, but they fought this one. And the committee did a vote and they tied 11-11 on her. And senators, and they were giving speeches about how you'll regret this. And if you know, make her the U.S. attorney of Massachusetts, you know, you will regret this. So they go 11 to 11, and they have to have Vice President Kamala Harris come in and do a tiebreaker. And she votes for Rachael Rollins. So she is made U.S. Attorney of Massachusetts.
Which is
And
insane.
then, is that insane?
It's insane.
That's crazy, right? Like, so I didn't know that part of the story. I knew that it was that people were against it, and the senators and all that, but I did not know that it went to an 11-11 and that someone had to come in. I guess it was, I went back and watched a lot of videos, and it was extremely, and it's funny to watch now knowing what went on. So unfortunately for Rachael Rollins, her position as the U.S. Attorney of Massachusetts only lasted 6 months before she was forced to resign due to a huge ethics scandal, which the Attorney General investigated her for abusing her federal powers, for seeking to sabotage a campaign of her successor who took over the Suffolk County DA. So she leaked sensitive information about him. She lied under oath. They also found she committed egregious violations of the Hatch Act. She was facing criminal prosecution for perjury, but then she stepped down, right? So then they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't prosecute her. But one of the, and before she stepped down, which we all know, right? Rachael Rollins opened the investigation into the death of O'Keefe for Karen Reed and her defense attorneys. So she's got all this going on, and then she's also, which I think, abusing her power again by opening this investigation, right? What's more abusive than doing this because a defense attorney and their clients came to you? But one of the funniest things is, which, welcome to Massachusetts, Rachael Rollins is running again now for Suffolk County DA, which is why you see her on all these shows praising Aidan Kearney, who basically ruined her career way back when. But guess who she is running against? She is running against the man who she was. So she's running against the man who she lost her U.S. attorney position for because she tried to sabotage his campaign. So that is who. So she's, for whatever reason, allowed to run, which I think is insane, right? Like, I mean, like, what are you talking about? Not only that, she's running against the man whose campaign she tried to derail and lied under oath about.
Sounds so much like Chicago.
Like, I don't even know where I live. Like, how is this even possible? That she's allowed
Did someone open some kind of a portal to another world in Massachusetts at some point? Because this is just bizarre.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's Chicago and Springfield. Like, we're the epicenter where I grew up.
Right.
Like,
and then to think that she was doing all that stuff, right? While she was U.S. attorney, she was trying to sabotage this man's run for DA. She lied under oath. She's opening investigations into John O'Keefe's death. She's allowing all these witnesses to be. I mean, this is not someone you want in charge of anywhere. Anywhere.
No. And if you read her tweets, she is a little unhinged, and it's very clear. It is very clear that Rachael Rollins does not like police. Does not like them. She paints all of them with a broad brush. They are all terrible human beings. And that is really, I mean, for a prosecutor, we're talking about a prosecutor. To think that and to have that kind of stereotype, that kind of prejudice against police, that's very concerning. The first video we have is Aidan Kearney reacting to the interview with Rachael Rollins and Mike Crawford is his name, right? Mike from the Young.
Yeah. And mind you guys, before she shows this,
you're covering up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before she shows this woman despised him and vice versa, right? But now she's jumping on this bandwagon. For what reason, I don't know. I don't know if she thinks she's getting like Turtle Boy fan votes or whatever, but she despised him. So when I saw this clip, I almost fell over.
Yeah, it's wild.
But it's also like, well, but you're covering up a murder, right? Like, so.
Shots fired at Jen McCabe. Listen to what she just said there about, she's like, yeah, some people say you shouldn't show up at the Billerica lacrosse game. Listen to what she says.
Him, that it's like, you shouldn't be yelling at people at their kids' lacrosse games. Okay, I agree, sort of. But it's also like, well, but you're covering up a murder, right? Like, so,
You covered up a murder. That's what she just said about Jen McCabe. Are you going to sue her too there? White yarmulke, Chris Maddy with the white yarmulke head. You going to sue her too? She just said that your clients covered up a murder.
But it's all.
Yeah, so a couple things about that. You have a prosecutor calling people murderers without due process and no evidence. Right. And then you've got Aidan Kearney's semi-anti-Semitic comment about yarmulke. Like, why would you even point that out? Like, I have no idea what religion Chris Mate is. It has no bearing on anything.
What was he talking about?
He's making fun of Chris Matty's hair. He says it looks like, because he has like thinning hair on the back of his head, he said it looks like a white yarmulke.
I never even noticed.
Yeah, but I mean, why would you say that? Why would you make some kind of Jewish reference?
Right. Because
he sounds very racist.
Right. A guy that he hates. So what are we doing here, Aidan? And where is Mark Betterow? Where is Mark Betterow drumming the drum about anti-Semitic comments when
Mark Betterow is getting his 5 minutes of fame talking to Brian Enton? That's where Mark Betterow is.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it is, I am shocked that you have someone who wants to be a prosecutor that is willing to go in an interview and call private citizens murderers with no due process. That is shocking. You should be scared.
Well, she's bananas.
Well, she's bananas. But
she's bananas.
This woman also had a lot of power. And so here's
she sure did.
Another clip from that interview with Mike and Rachel.
I was the U.S. attorney with both of those cases, right? So Reed came up to us when the murder trial was before the first murder trial.
So it's really interesting what she says there, right? So you could take it literally, like Reed came up to us, or somehow someone brought that case to her. And my understanding from speaking to people is it's usually the FBI agents that start kind of investigating. And we had watched, I should have pulled it. There is, when Karen was arrested, she makes a phone call to her father. She has some kind of email.
Oh, you should have pulled that.
I should have pulled that. I
forgot to.
I'll post it. So when Karen is arrested, she has some kind of email that she has crafted, and she has crafted multiple drafts because she's telling her father to send the latest draft and to send it to everyone that he can. So I would really love to know from Rachael Rollins who it is that brought that up to you, or brought that, whatever it was, however you do that, whatever's going on there, Rachel. I was
like, what is she doing?
I mean, I watched that interview and I was like, dear God, we are in trouble. Like, if this person gets in office,
she probably will. She probably will.
That is disturbing.
I want to show you guys the duality of Rachael Rollins' positions, where she's willing to call private citizens with no evidence, no due process, murderers. And then she has another position on this whole matter. When it comes to the U.S. Attorney's Office, indicting people, right? And so this federal investigation was leaked it was leaked by Karen Reed's attorneys, and that leak was used to call people murderers, to smear them in the public eye. And this is what Rachael Rollins said about another case. This case was an initiative under Trump. It was targeting Chinese people that they thought were spies. But this is what Rachael said about that.
I dismissed a couple of cases when I became U.S. attorney. I had 3 exonerations as U.S. attorney of people that the office had, ruined their lives, right? Like when you are indicted, when you are accused by the feds of something and there's a press conference, and then, you're indicted a week later and there's a press release, and then they quietly want to dismiss the charges against you on a Friday afternoon in a 1-sentence motion and then no comment. That's what happened the first day I became U.S. attorney with
Sean Ellis?
This
or
was
Drummo?
Gang Chen, which was a federal case.
Yep.
But I just said, and remember, I'm meeting with the head of national security for the entire United States of America. And I said on Zoom, I'm sorry, wait a minute. You want me to what? A 1-sentence dismissal. But didn't you have a press conference when you thought he was a spy, essentially, right? And thank God MIT didn't fire him. Like, by the grace of God, the president of MIT loved Gang Chen. He kept his job. A lot of other people were immediately dropped by their Harvard and other universities dropped.
So she understands the magnitude, right? She understands the magnitude of what that means when the public thinks that you have done something.
What a hypocrite.
And
what a hypocrite.
She is almost smiling at what she's done to these witnesses, smiling about it. Like, that is wild, Rachael. That is absolutely wild, because you understand.
And someone that unhinged and corrupt is meeting with the head of the NSA is also pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
It's so disturbing. And I don't know who they're pandering to. Same with Deitch, right? Like, I mean, God help me. I hope I'm not wrong, but I just don't think that this state, I think, is so over this nonsense. So I don't know who she's pandering to, who she thinks, I don't know. I mean, I can you imagine a world where Adam Deitch is the DA of Norfolk County and Rachael Rollins is the DA of Suffolk County?
What scared me most about Adam Deitch and Rachael Rollins is, when you listen to him talk, he talks a lot about data.
Yeah.
And if you watch the first, 15, whatever minutes of it, it's the same spiel, right?
Yeah.
She's the same exact thing. And so, I mean, they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Cut from the same cloth.
It's scary. It's really, really scary.
It was wild to me that she did not, I mean, in one breath here, she is willing to say that these people are murderers. And in the next breath, she's like, it's terrible when you do that to people. Like,
when you're wrongly accused of a crime.
What?
Right.
And it was your office that did this. It was you and your staff that did this to these people.
She made a bunch of tweets when Reed was first acquitted. And that was when I was first like, what is happening? She made, a bunch of pro Turtle Boy tweets. I went to find them for the show and I couldn't find them. So I'm assuming that she deleted them, or I just couldn't see them, but I couldn't find them anywhere. But I remember thinking, this is because, like I said, they had a thing. He really took her down at the beginning. That was a scandal for her. So to just see her come now and just, be begging for those, unhinged fans to become her unhinged fans. It's so pathetic.
Well, it
so
shows you the integrity of these people, right? It shows you the integrity, because anybody that, if she's going to get up and stand behind him, she has zero integrity. It's just like all the other content creators, right? She's looking for clicks and views and dollars in a different way. I mean, it's wild what people will.
And isn't it weird how they all find each other and are drawn to each other, and somehow they all eventually end up in the same room, the Aidans and the Rachels of the world.
Yeah.
Despite how different everything is for their point of view, they all end up together. It's very strange. Yeah. It's almost like they know.
But how, in what world can you be forced to resign as U.S. attorney, almost criminally prosecuted, found to have, almost rigged an election, lied on, and she committed perjury. Like, that's a fact, right? She lied under oath.
Yep.
And then go to run again for like what? I don't.
That is very typical Chicago, Springfield machine. Oh, all the time. I am so surprised that Rod Blagojevich is not in office somewhere. You know what I mean? They're so used to it but it's sad to see it happen someplace else.
It's just sad.
Illinois. That's why we left that state, because it was like, there's nothing you can do. You're not going to change it.
I know. I think I'm going to have to leave Norfolk County if Adam Teach gets in.
But there's a saturation point of actual corruption, not the fake corruption that it is hard to fight back against. And it feels overwhelming in Massachusetts.
Yeah. It's sad too, like even, I don't know what the answer is, even the DA that's in there now, as far as, in my opinion, he's just done such a terrible job with protecting these witnesses and, standing up for them. And it's sad. I don't know what, I know the answer is in Adam Deach. I'm just not sure what the answer is.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So we're going to move into, we're going to have an entire show on this, but Aidan has been talking about it so much, about his intent. And, if you follow this show, we've been over it. We've been over the messages. We've been over the signal messages. We've been over the messages with the intermediary. We've been over the signal messages. We've been over so much to show what the intent was. I think Aidan is leaning really heavily for his criminal case and the defamation case. His excuse is going to be, I was petitioning the government. And we all know that absolutely not what he was doing. So we've curated a few videos with Aidan's intent, just to kind of for that episode. So I'm going to show the first one for you guys. It just cracks me up.
Julie, just her and I are having a one-on-one conversation here right now. You know what I'm talking about, Julie. You know what I'm talking about. So I bet you feared this, didn't you? And that makes me so happy. Because you should.
Talk to Chris Albert. All he has to do is come clean and get his son to admit what he did and get his brother to admit what he did, and then this thing's over. Then there's no more going to kids' games and interviewing and going to your goddamn pizza shop. It all fucking ends. So I'm sick of this. You're playing right into their hands if you do this whole like, oh, we can't let you leave kids out of it. We're not bringing kids into it. They're hiding behind children. They're hiding behind them, okay? Like back there in World War II, the fucking Japanese would hide in goddamn caves with kids. And you know what we did? Napalm the fuck out of it. Because, sorry, like you don't get out of my way. You stop hiding behind kids. It's not our fault. It's their fault. They're the ones that hid behind kids. Okay? Karen Reed would like to be free too, but you can't. So the second Chris Albert does the right thing, this shit ends. It ends.
You think I'm scared of your fucking pussy son, Colin? Oh, I can't wait to see Colin. I'm gonna have a lot of questions for Colin. And something tells me he won't be able to control his temper like you did. He can get some. He can get some too. There won't be a dog there to back him up this time. I'm not afraid of your stupid son. Believe me, I could kick the shit out of your stupid son. So enough. I'm just so sick of the people being like, oh, maybe we should ease up on Jen McCabe. Maybe we shouldn't, actually. Maybe we should increase it. That's what we should do. Maybe I haven't seen Jen McCabe since the lacrosse incident, and she needs to be reminded who her daddy is. Because it's not Matt McCabe. I'm his daddy, too. So maybe we need to come back. I confronted this guy a couple weeks ago. This guy's got his head on a swivel everywhere now. He's like, turn around. Where are they? I got bad news for you, Chris. I got really bad news for you. They're literally everywhere. You can't, you guys should just stop going out in public. That'd be my recommendation. And it's only going to get worse from here. He's obviously, when I saw him, this dude is ready and looking around. They insist on going out in public. Chris, I know where you guys were today. Y'all were in Agawam, weren't you? I got pictures of you on my cell phone. I got people sending me pictures. You guys were at some sort of Little League thing in Agawam. I got pictures of Courtney Proctor. I got pictures of, who was she with there? I forget. There's a whole crew here. Albert's, McCabe's, all you people were there. So, like, just know that there will be no, life as normal is over, okay? I go down to your pizza shop, and I stand out there for an hour, and I yell shit about your son. I just shit all over your child, Chris. Your middle child. I go down there, and I shit all over him, and I accuse him of some of the most heinous things possible. And I affect business. People don't want to go into your business because of the things that I'm saying. I'm telling cars going by.
Your kids' soccer games. Like, that's what I think. Like, fuck Jennifer McCabe's kids' lacrosse games. That's what I think of that. Like, oh, no, not a lacrosse game. She murdered someone. She Googled how she participated in a fucking murder cover-up. So, fuck her kids' lacrosse games. That's my policy on that. I don't give a fuck if you think that's controversial. If you're not outraged that Jennifer McCabe helped murder, if you're even giving a fuck about Jennifer McCabe's kids' lacrosse games after what she fucking did, you're missing the big point here. So fuck it.
Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Colin Albert, and the rest of these fucks murdered John O'Keefe. It's a fact. It's not an opinion.
Because they sent a murderer, in case I'm not very clear about that, a murderer by the name of Jennifer McCabe, who murdered John O'Keefe.
So yeah, they are in fact killers. I mean, I think we should all start saying it. You know what I mean? Go on your fucking Twitter profiles, whatever. Just be like, yeah, Brian Higgins is a murderer. Go ahead, post that. You won't. See if you get sued. You know, do it. Who cares? Because it's okay to fucking say the truth. I ain't scared. You think I'm scared of a fucking lawsuit? Do it. I can't wait.
He can't wait. Do it. You won't.
Oh my God. I mean,
he sounded so insane. He wants all y'all to do it. He wants some company in his criminal case, I think.
I mean, you listen to that stuff, there is no petitioning of the government. It's very clear.
I mean, I was
Very
actually,
clear.
when we said we were going to talk about this, because I know we're going to do a more in-depth show on it, but I was reading up on, how to petition your government. And, you email your representatives, you testify at public meetings, you submit formal complaints. You circulate, ballot initiatives and things like that. I did a lot of reading on it. It never said anything about going to a soccer mom's child's soccer game and screaming at her that she's a cop killer or anything like that. It just didn't say it.
So it doesn't say in the code that just shitting on someone's kid is petitioning the government. Are you sure? Like, did you check that twice?
It doesn't say that.
The worst, after what we showed last week, where he had absolutely no proof that Colin was even there when John arrived.
Yeah.
And he's going to Chris Albert's business.
Yep.
And he literally said it. I'm destroying your business.
I'm destroying your business. If that wasn't in the suggestions to petition your government.
No. I wouldn't guess that it would be, because that's not how you do that.
No.
And again, it goes back to, it's 4th of July, 250 years. Dude, you have no idea what it is to be an American. You have no respect for it, because you wouldn't be doing that shit.
Can you imagine a jury listening to that video you just played?
Oh, I can't wait. I would like to
because
it's watch their faces.
It's insane when you listen to it all
He
together.
is super excited about it, Carrie.
He said he can't wait.
He thinks they're going to love him. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So we have a couple more for you guys. This is another thing where we could do like a 24-hour stream.
Well, we're gonna do a show. We have to do that.
People get sick of them after a while.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, we do.
But I mean, we literally could do like a 24-hour.
Yes.
We should do a fundraiser night and do just 24 hours of just 24 hours of intent.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Stories, people get sick of them after a while. But this one, I put out something about Canton. We're on part 48 now. Like the two today, I didn't even label because I didn't count that as part of the investigation. But never underestimate what a jury would do. I think more in the opposite direction. Like juries exonerate random people that are guilty, like the OJ shit. But with this, dude, nobody's convicting her. Stop it. But hopefully it's never going to get there. And you people are never sick of this because there's always a new angle with this. And these people never stop entertaining us. Like Jennifer McCabe insists on going out in public. She insists on it. Like, what are you thinking? Why do you keep going out in public? Jesus. We had somebody a turtle rider went to their house today. I did not direct them to do that. They went there on their own accord and they filmed it. It's like, dude, we are getting to these people, dude. We are getting, especially to Matt McCabe, that Lardo, Big Mac McCabe, all flustered. And yesterday, man.
And Matt is like the nicest person. Like,
he's the nicest guy in the world.
I know.
It's just unreal. And as far as him saying, I didn't tell them to go. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. We got, I mean, so many times.
Can you believe that he said she insists on going out?
Yeah, I love it. I love that for him.
She insists on going out. It's
and they continue to say that, like the audacity of these people to be in public or go on vacation or go to a wedding or any of this, and not once. And he's like, we're getting to these people. We're not getting to the government.
I can remember that line. That line is insane.
It's insane because if he really were petitioning, he'd be getting to the government, not getting to Jennifer McCabe, not getting to Matt McCabe.
Exactly. He would be initiating ballots, Lydia.
Yes.
He would be emailing his representative. So that is petitioning the government.
In the Constitution, can I ask you ladies what you consider to be the pursuit of happiness? Because according to Aidan, you have no guarantees to the pursuit of happiness. You have no guarantees to be able to go out in public. And I just view the Constitution a little bit differently. Yeah, I view that little line a little bit differently than he does. I think he's infringing on these people's pursuit of happiness.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freedom from people attempting to end your freedom, right? When he says, I'm trying to deprive them of their freedom to go to a soccer game. I'm trying to deprive them of their freedom to go out in public.
Yes.
And that is not American.
Nope. No.
It's
Can
not.
you imagine our forefathers being like, wait a second. So it wasn't the tyrannical government we had to be afraid of. It was the guy living next door. What? This is what you did with the freedoms we gave you. This is what you decided to do with it. Wow.
Yeah. This is, and you think of all the people in this case, and this is what really chaps me the most. You think of all the people who have been vilified, who have selflessly given of themselves to the government. They have signed up for the military. Yuri's a Marine. Colin went into the military. Brian Higgins, and to have Skeletor, Karen Reed's father, standing on the courthouse steps, pointing his finger at a man who went into the Marine Corps to defend all these things these people say they believe in, pisses me off to no end.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I mean, reading that he was the one that suggested that it was Colin that punched John, that delivered the fatal blow. Like, what is wrong with you, William Reed? What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, whatever it is, it's hereditary.
Yeah.
They're something's not right with that family.
Yeah. So let's do the next one.
One sec. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. So we're gonna watch. So when we got there yesterday, because I heard that Jennifer McCabe. I knew she would be there because she goes to all these lacrosse games, and because she's bold. I mean, she just doesn't give a shit. She just keeps going to these games, like has no shame, is arrogant. Like Kevin Reddington has told her, like that's what innocent people do. They go out, and she goes to court. No one else is doing this. She never took her Facebook down. She's the only one that didn't do that. But all these other people, they hid for a bit. Brian Albert you can't find him. Same with Coco. Same with Brian Higgins. Like I've seen one picture of Brian Higgins in my life. He's a major player in this that we hardly ever talk about because he doesn't give us content. This woman can't stop giving us content, and she's wildly entertaining. We have to admit that. She's a great villain, is she not? As far as Turtle Boy villains go, with the teeth and oh my god, and then the goofy husband. It's great content. It's great content. So I got there. Obviously, I'm going to go to the Survivor.
So yeah, petitioning
That's so
for
bad.
content, Aidan.
That's so bad.
For content. Wow.
I haven't heard that in a long time. I know I've seen it before. I haven't heard that in a long time. I mean, he calls her a great Turtle Boy villain.
Yeah. That sounds like petitioning activities, right? Doesn't it?
Well, Truth put a good post up. She said that he could have created a petition to get FKR to sign it, to take another look at the case. That is petitioning your government. That would have been a much better idea.
And that was straight from Karen too, right? So remember the text messages through the intermediary where she was like, they all deleted their Facebook tonight.
Yeah.
You know, they took down their Visco, they took down their Instagram, all of that. Yeah. That was the goal, you know, make them hide from the public. Again, they're not the government. Instagram isn't the government.
No. I mean, he literally said, how dare she go to her children's games? That he said that.
Yeah.
How dare she go out? I can't imagine a jury hearing that.
No.
And all his crazy fans are listening, be like, yeah, how dare she go to her daughter's game? And how she just insists on going out and living her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And he talks about every other witness that isn't going out because of him.
Yeah.
And isn't doing. I mean, these are so bad for him. They're
and
so
there's
bad.
so many. And so like he's focusing right now on the videos prior to when he was arrested. And we have a nice library for that. However, I don't think he understands the magnitude of the problem that he has, because his entire library is going to be up for grabs in the defamation case.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know how he doesn't understand the reality of what he's in right now. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad.
Sometimes I think it seeps out, right? When he was like, oh crap, you know, they have every single video I've ever made. It's all archived. It's the Library of the Antis Congress. And I don't have anybody like that. I don't have anybody who's documented.
He used to, right? I mean, he had Meredith, he had Jen Altman, and I mean, he had a good group of people around him that helped him.
Yeah.
And that did a lot. I mean, Jen Altman did all those fundraisers for him.
Yep.
And, you know, she raised a lot of money for him.
Yeah. And Meredith was very smart. I mean,
Yeah.
she knew how to, I mean, she was good at like finding the little holes.
She was.
He has none of that anymore.
No.
None of
She
that.
organized, you know, his stuff for him. She knew how to operate a PDF when he didn't. I know that's very difficult.
I mean, I think one of the funniest things was when he was screaming all about that he needs videos and he needs people to help him, and he was yelling at everybody and he was fighting with everybody, and then all his fans start posting all these clips.
Oh my God, Carrie, I was dead.
Do you remember? And literally the first one, they're posting clips that would literally throw him in jail. Like
guilty.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
And then they're putting like music effects in it. Like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? I ran across a video today. I was looking for a video. It was a few days, maybe like 5 to 8 days after the defamation suit was filed. And Aidan is on his stream going, we're not getting sued for defamation. And Karen for defamation? It's not happening. We're not getting sued. I was like crying, laughing, watching it because I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I should be crying and laughing if that's mean, because this is a guy having a break from reality right now. Because, dude, yes, you are being sued. Like, is that going away? It's just like the subpoena thing, right? Where he's like, he read it. He read the subpoena on a live. And then he's like this morning, well, I moved.
I know. And he said that it got delivered to one of his kids and they took it, and that's a lie.
That's a lie.
I mean, why are you lying?
And clearly you have possession of it, sir, because you read it. And does he really think that Mark Diller doesn't have that video that he can
Right.
And, you know, we've said it so many times, press play. Like,
that's all you have to do.
The internet as a diary. Like, normal people don't do that. We don't do that.
No.
And yeah, it's but what's weird to me, the part about it that's weird to me is like he is he's trying to convince these people in his audience who can literally do nothing to assist him, which he has even acknowledged. So what is the point even? I don't understand it. Like, why is he bothering lying to them when they can't do anything for him?
Yeah.
For money, right? For money.
Yeah.
To continue the grift and to continue the donations is all I can think of.
Yeah, it's the only outcome that makes sense is that it's just for the money. But
it's really wild. Let's do a couple more. These videos, oh my God. I mean, they're very sad, but also it's like, how do you think you're getting out of this?
Julie, I want to implore the audience, stop this for 1 second. Yeah. I just want to ask the audience, please help me. I am looking for a video, and it starts with Aidan Kearney saying the whole country is going to know Colin Albert's name.
Oh, we've been looking for this one.
If anyone has that video, please get it to
We're
me.
talking to you.
And I can't even picture where it was. I feel like he was outside, but he says the entire country is going to know Colin Albert's name. And I've just been looking for that video for so long. So if anyone,
are you sure he says the word country?
I don't
or
know.
World, the entire world. It might be world. It might be world.
Earlier this week, I tried to put Carrie under hypnosis and ask her.
It might be world, but it's literally the entire country or the entire. It might be. Now that you're saying world, now I'm hearing that.
I remember it too. I remember it going through video after video after video, and I'm like, where the hell is this? I know I cannot dream this up.
I can search if the words are rare enough, but just searching Colin is not going to work. But I'll search
the entire is. I think that word.
The entire will work.
Yeah, I'll do the entire.
Okay.
Though I have to say, never ever search Aidan's things or Karen Reed's things with the word never, because those two people say the word never more than anyone I've ever met.
They sure
do. And if
do.
you know about the word never, says a lot about the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll play this one.
Now know who this woman is. And we need to make that. We need to make and Jen, if you're watching this, if you continue to do this whole, I'm a free person and I'm going to go out in public, I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to be louder and more descriptive. and more articulate. I'm gonna be practicing this more, and the questions are gonna get more pointed. So if you continue this, then I'm going to continue this, and it's going to be louder. I'm going to bring my megaphone next time. Maybe I'll bring my friend Rayla Campbell. She likes to be loud. Then we'll really see what happens. Yeah.
Wow.
What was he even what was he talking about?
So basically, like,
they're going to continue doing what?
Like harassing her.
Like living?
Yeah, like, how dare you live your life? You should hide. No, you know, maybe not die in a hole like he likes to tell people, but hide in a hole because Aidan and his army are after you because he's going to go on Dateline if Karen Reed is found not guilty. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. Remember that text where he's like, "I'm going to be on Dateline."
Yes.
That's what
yeah. He was so
and
excited.
he was never on Dateline.
Never. Like, never. And you know what I was thinking this week? I watched parts of both those interviews, but here where he thought he was going to be like the, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's evading me. Like he was going to be like the darling of the media for breaking this story. And he's on Ray from Dallas.
Yeah.
Ray was like,
that's a really great point.
yeah, and so like he was making, like, he loves to take shots at our show, and he's making fun of us, and yet the stream before Aidan was on, like, Ray had like 500 views, and that's where Aidan's at.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
Somebody sent me a clip that he was saying what shows he was on the night before, and he couldn't even remember the woman's name.
Yeah, he could not remember her name. He was like, "Yeah, old what's her face."
He said Nurse Kim because he probably misses her so much. But then he said,
Well, Nurse Kim kind of took a swipe at him. So, you know what I came across today was all the videos where he was thanking me for his invitation to Tim Pool. And all I could think, as I'm watching these videos, all I could think of him, it was, wait until Trump finds out. You wait until Trump.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Joe Rogan and Trump were going to swoop in and save him on a big American Eagle.
We're still waiting for Trump and Rogan to show up.
That was amazing.
And he did say that Tim Pool was going to look into it. And
we haven't heard from him.
We have not heard a thing.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything.
Yeah, he probably looked into it and he was like,
probably did.
I'm a millionaire. I am not. I am not a fool. No. You, sir, are a fool, but I am not. So we've got.
He's smart enough not to get sued. That's a big difference between him and Aidan.
Yeah. I mean, hold on. I'm going to pull this up and stop it real quick.
Exposing what they.
But like, he went on for like 2 months, like making fun of me, like that he was going on that show. And I am sure that he was ready to like just lose his mind that day. But the reality is, like, do you really think that a millionaire is going to risk their financial fortune on your stupid lie? Like, you weren't fighting for anything. When it comes down to it, like, he tries to make people believe he was fighting for something that was really respectable.
Right.
He was fighting for fame and he was fighting for money. Those are the two things that will leave you in the gutter. Like, when you seek out those two things and you leave your integrity and your character behind, you can bet you're going to end up in the gutter, and that's exactly where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a recent one. This is a really good one. Carrie, I love this one.
Exposing what they've done, exposing the lies that they've told, exposing their involvement in covering up a murder, because that's what they did. I don't give a shit how many lawsuits. Go ahead, Christopher. Amend your stupid lawsuit for the 1,000th fucking time. We get the point. I've said they're murderers like a million fucking times. Okay, they clearly covered up a murder. Clearly, it's undeniable. Karen Reed didn't murder John O'Keefe.
It's bro, it's undeniable. Like Karen Reed didn't kill John O'Keefe. I think about this every day. Like I think about it. The more we get to trial, I think about getting on that stand. And I'm not gonna lie, like I get aroused, like sexually aroused. I get a fucking hard on sometimes thinking about, man, I really get to get on the stand in front of cameras and the news and say it all. You think Kerry Roberts was telling him everything? Wait till Turtle Boy takes the stand. Wait till Turtle Boy takes the stand. He's going to be telling him everything. Everything. Boy, am I going to be telling him everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And so, yeah, anyway, so these people are like, why did I do?
You could take that clip and go back to the trial, the Karen Reed trial. He said the exact same thing about Hank Brennan, and he pled the fifth.
Yeah, I was going to say this is where the narrator steps in and says, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
he pled the fifth.
Exact.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, he's not going to testify, and I hate to tell him
No, he's not going
to. His witness intimidation charges are not going to have any kind of fanfare. The only place he's going to get attention is the defamation case, and by the time that goes to trial, he may be showing up in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, there's no way where, I mean, the clips we just showed everybody, the jury is going to hate him. There's nothing endearing about those clips. You cringe when you watch them. You just cringe.
Yeah.
And the witnesses are going to get on the stand, and they are. I don't care what any of you crazy people say. I mean, you saw the woman the other night or a week ago go on John Camo's show who went to the event. These are very likable, good people who. It's just, I can't even imagine. I mean, they all testified in the Karen Reed case. It was, contentious, right, with Alan Jackson, and there was so much going on. This is not the Karen Reed case. They're going to be showing videos of all these people being harassed and being abused and horrible things being said about them, and up there crying about how their life will never be the same. I mean,
I mean, basically, Aidan gets very upset when he watches our show. I have to tell you, bud, the trial is going to be worse for you.
Yeah.
If this is upsetting, you're going to lose your mind. I today, again, like I'm going through my videos, and we showed that video of Colin testifying about how many times he had met Proctor, and I watched it again today, and it's just like, you look at that kid and you're like, who could do this to him? Like what disgusting, evil, horrible person.
And for any of you lunatics that think any texts are coming out between Michael Proctor and Colin Albert, you're out of your ever-living freaking mind. You are out of your mind.
Melanie would get her actress face on and do all of her stuff, but there's nothing there.
Yeah. And speaking of that, for 1 second, you guys, if anyone is interested, like Julie just said about Melanie Griffith, I got a text from Ginny, who couldn't be with us tonight, but there is apparently a movie that's out. She is the star of it, and Jen Altman has posted it.
I will be doing that after the show.
It's called Rick Accidentally Takes Steroids. That's the name of the movie. And so you guys can enjoy that. So it looks like it's really good.
Yeah. Oh dear God. And we have one more clip, because we just want to do a slow drip with these until
the 4 hour intense show.
And then, and then we can leave Aidan wondering what else we have. We have this phone that we set up. It's like those when you were a little kid, and it was the can, and it was the string, and it goes straight to Costco. So I have one, and Carrie has one. And that's what we do with our time.
Yeah.
So I do this every morning ever since October 11th, 2023, when I was jacked up by the popo at my kid's bus stop for the crime of reporting on the Kearney case and letting the world know that she's innocent, and going up to various people who actually murdered John O'Keefe and framed her for murder. And I went up to them and I asked them questions and stuff, and I made fun of them and I called them cop killers, and just let them kind of know that I know what you did last summer. I know what you did. Everybody knows what you did, and if the feds don't get you, you're lucky. But the people are still going to know what you did, and the McAlberts are going to know that forever. The Kearney case is over, but the stain of what they did to John O'Keefe will live forever. It has been, the world's going to know who you are, and they did, so that's, I'm happy with that. I'd rather they be in jail, but at least the world knows what they did. Psychopaths like Jennifer McKeith can continue to kind of go around town, act like they're just innocent, regular law-abiding people. They're probably so happy this trial's over. And but then again, they still got the civil. I mean, if I were them, I would want this to just go away, and so they can go back to normal mom life.
And then they sued you.
So he said it in that clip, which I haven't heard in a bit, that the world knows who they are.
Yeah,
that's a terrible thing to say when you're being charged with defamation.
Well, and then you look at,
and you're the reason why they know who they are.
You look at the look on his face, and he's so proud of himself. That is not going to play well. That is, oh dear God.
And the world knows who you are. So imagine you're Chris Maddie, and you're stitching all this together. So you say the world knows who you are. And then you show the video of somebody yelling at Brian Albert in a food court, and you show a video of someone on a cruise filming Yuri Buchanan. And
I was thinking about that Brian Albert one in the mall, how that will go over with jury. That's a hard one to watch. And
it is.
The other one I saw the other night too was when he went to CF McCarthy's, and Colin Albert was walking across, and you heard Colin, and he was saying, "Can I just go to get some food?" And he just sounded sad, and just looking at him, and those are just not, they're not going to go over well. They're not.
They are absolutely not going to go over well. I think because in his little vacuum, he has this narrative going on. Once he has to get out of that, and people are looking at it with an objective eye, it's not going to. I mean, obviously, when he went to Canton, they were trying to get something to happen, right? They were trying to provoke something. That's not a normal thing. That's not what you do.
No.
It's not
right
in any way.
That is not petitioning the government.
No, I don't know. Even if he tried, he can't even say that Chris Albert was the government, because every time he stood outside Chris Albert's business, he wasn't petitioning the town of Canton. He was screaming about Chris's time.
He was screaming that there was blood in the pizza.
Screaming those things. And so, and we have all the communications where he's questioning, and he knows, he admits he has no idea when Colin left. And yet he's still doing that. The hole is so deep for him. I don't know how he's going to get out of it.
And didn't he just go to one select board meeting just to flip him off?
Well,
he was just double flipping him off, because I don't think that's petitioning the government.
No, but we have the text. We have the text from Angela Chan O'Donnell. The reason why Aidan Kearney went to that particular select board meeting is because he thought that the Little League was going to be honored.
Oh, that's right.
The witnesses and the O'Keefes were going to be there. So again, Aidan, that's not petitioning the government. We know why you went there. We have the text.
I mean, that's harassing and trying to abuse a victim's family, children. Real quick, I know we're wrapping up. I just wanted to say, I forgot until those, for some reason he thought those texts between Yuri and Proctor were such a big win. I couldn't figure out why. Because I thought they were horrible for him because he was calling Liz Proctor the C word, and Proctor was telling Yuri things he was saying about Proctor's mom and stuff like that. And like we've said, you can hate Michael Proctor all you want and hate the things he said, but his family certainly does not deserve any this abuse and harassment. They didn't do anything. But I forgot that he has charges for Liz Proctor. So then we all kind of started looking into it, and I did forget all of the things. I'd made a post about it, that the harassment that he had done to her. Liz gets, a lot of people forget about that, how she took a lot. I remember when they all kept, there's that false narrative they like to put out that she called people's work, and that is not what happened. Liz got a call at her work. They said whatever they said, harassing and saying vile things. She called back the number, and someone answered. It was the person who called, it was their work, but they didn't answer the phone. Their boss did. That is what happened. Liz Proctor did not go online looking to call Free Karen Read people. Like, the stories they tell are just, they're ridiculous and nonsense and just absurd. But I really forgot, he's got a lot of, when I was reading, a few charges for harassing her. But I could not figure out why they thought those texts were such a win, because they made him look terrible.
Terrible.
It was just more harassment, and it was just him sending the harassment to an officer.
Yeah, I don't know why he was sharing those.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
It makes him look really bad. I don't know.
I think they just really, like you said earlier, like to throw the Proctor thing out.
But in that particular situation, Yuri was investigating, and Michael Proctor and his wife were the victim. So I don't. And I after what I've seen with it's Belizos, is that Judge Belizos?
Yeah.
I think he's on to it, right? And I don't think he's going to really fall for this, because it has nothing to do with it. And in the, when you look at his original charges, Proctor is a victim. That charge was dropped. Liz is a victim. Buchanan was also listed as a victim. That
was dropped.
They were investigating it. So Michael Proctor was not investigating his case. And he has every right to speak to who's ever investigating it and say, hey, here's what I think is another violation. Carrie, you sent me this morning, those videos where I was like, oh my God, my nervous system needs to detox after watching this. That manual guy with the Arizona and Aidan, and he starts, like, the cop calls him.
Oh my God, someone posted those. I can't remember who posted them.
At this cop. And then when he figures out it's a real cop,
I know,
back, and he's like making himself into the victim, and he's sharing details. And I'm like,
it was so weird. That was so strange.
I watched that first thing this morning, and I was like, this is a horrible way to start the day.
I'd never seen those before. I'd never seen them before.
Well, obviously, Aidan has been doing this for flippin' years. This is the way he has lived his life. Like, why would you want a person like that in your life? And why would you want to put yourself in a situation where you're bringing people like that in your life? But also, it's triggering things in my head. He says all the time that he's been doing this for years, and he didn't get in trouble until these witnesses.
Right.
But he's been punching down, right?
Right.
I think all these years where he's been able to lie and get away with it and kind of like talk his way out of it, because we know he lies. And we know that he lies. Yeah. He lies to police. He lies to authorities. He lies to the court. This time, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And he targeted people that they're not Manuel, whoever he was, that just got out of prison.
Right.
It's not
Right.
going to work.
Right.
But the way he spoke to that cop,
I know. I could not believe that was the real cop. I was like, oh my God, this is going to end up being the real
and the cop was just, this is what killed me about it, is he is, constantly criticizing police.
Mhm.
And that cop was so professional. He was
I
like,
know. He was just like, yeah, it was me.
okay. Right. And then when he calls back and he apologizes for it, he's like, no, man, it's fine. It's fine.
I know.
Like,
I know.
right. And that police officer that was on the end of that call is the way 98% of the police officers in this country are. And then you have 2% that maybe are problematic, but
like in any profession.
Yeah, of course.
Any profession.
Of course. Right. That's everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, that it is. It's true.
Yeah.
This was a great show.
It was a great show.
It was
so
fun.
much fun. So
I
much.
know, it was fun. And so we're going to do a bigger one, y'all, and a longer one. I think we're going to call it Intent, or a good name that Ginny makes up. Yeah. And we're just going to, we have a lot of videos,
We do.
We don't have
great
any emails to the government or anything like that to show you, because he's never done any of that. But we have a
no
lot.
911 calls. You can FOIA away. You're not going to find them.
Nope.
And we've got a big surprise, because after Intent, Aidan missed a big part of that statute.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So we'll cover that part too.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, and we do have. I know Tuesday has worked so hard on it. We've got that jury show.
Yes. It's going to be so good.
I think it is so important, along with these things, to put that show into the conversation, because everything that they did and all this social media stuff, the harassment, what they were putting online, that affected that jury pool.
And you all saw it in that amazing video she made.
Yeah,
that she put on last week, which was supposed to be for our show, but we're so far behind we had to put the video out.
But today made it more interesting because Gilday referenced it, right?
Yeah.
He said, you're attempting to nullify, he chose the word nullification very deliberately. And so I think it's good timing to put that back in, to really see what nullification is and how it happens and how insidious it is.
Yeah, maybe we do our jury show next. Maybe that would be
Yeah,
fun.
I would love to do that, because I would love to talk about it. And I know that there's been a lot of criticism of people criticizing the jury, and this is not to say that any of us don't respect civic duty. We absolutely do, but there is such a thing as jury nullification. We've seen it, and we saw it in this case. And
and I don't think, like Julie just said, you never want to criticize a jury or anything, but just from even some of the clips that you saw in Tuesday's video, when you have a jury foreman saying that if manslaughter was on the table, then we probably would have convicted her on that, and manslaughter was on the table. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yep. Huge problem.
Huge problem. And you gotta talk about it.
Yep.
So that would be fun.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll be back next week.
Yes, I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July.
Nobody blow your fingers off. No.
Right. Be safe.
Yeah, be safe, everyone. Have a great holiday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, and donate.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, donate. Defendingthetruth.org, and the Venmo's right in the corner. So if you can, give a little donation, and thank you guys so much.
And if you can't, please share.
Please share.
Yes, sharing is good.
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We might not